Jack Elam truly hated him more than anyone, and fans who remember the late actor's unforgettable screen presence as Hollywood's favorite villain would be stunned to learn just how deep his grudge ran. Because while Elam was known for his wild-eyed stare, crooked grin, and iconic roles in countless westerns, he was also a man who carried strong opinions about the people he worked with. And in one particular case, his dislike was so intense that it became the stuff of Hollywood legend. Jack Elam's career was long and colorful. He appeared in more than 100 films and television shows, often typecast as the outlaw, the gunslinger, or the shady drifter who brought chaos into every story. But off-screen, he was far more complicated than the characters he played. He was intelligent, quick-witted, and could be charming. Yet when someone crossed him, insulted him, or treated him with disrespect, Elam's loyalty and patience were gone forever. The man he reportedly hated most was none other than one of his contemporaries, a fellow Western star who often clashed with Jack over ego, money, and screen time. Insiders claimed their animosity began early in their careers, when Jack was still fighting for recognition and this particular co-star, an actor with a reputation for arrogance, belittled him on set, treating him like nothing more than a background player. Jack, who had already overcome a rough childhood, poverty, and even partial blindness in one eye, was not someone who tolerated disrespect lightly. The resentment festered, and even as Elam rose through the ranks and became a beloved character actor, he never forgave the slight. In interviews, when asked about people he didn't enjoy working with, Jack was careful not to name names outright, but his sharp remarks and cutting tone left little doubt about where his bitterness was directed. Crew members whispered about heated arguments, tense standoffs, and days when the atmosphere on set became unbearable because of the friction between the two men. Yet what made the feud so striking was that Jack Elam, despite his reputation for playing villains, was well liked by most of his colleagues. Directors praised his professionalism, fellow actors admired his humor, and fans adored his quirky unpredictability. That made his hatred toward this one actor all the more shocking, because it proved that whatever happened between them had left a wound too deep to heal. As years passed, Jack mellowed with age, often laughing about his career and his colorful life. But even in his later interviews, when he reflected warmly on most of his co-stars, there was a coldness in his voice whenever the subject of this one man arose. For fans, the tragedy is that Jack Elam, a performer who brought joy, excitement, and laughter through his unforgettable roles, carried with him a bitterness that never truly faded. A reminder that behind the lights of Hollywood were egos, rivalries, and personal hurts that no amount of fame could erase. In the end, Jack Elam truly hated him more than anyone, and though he never spoke the man's name directly, those who knew the truth understood just how deeply personal and unshakable that hatred was.